Okay, hello and welcome to another episode of the Middle Order Cricket Podcast. I'm joined here today by Waqas Mahmood and Khizar Ali, who will be looking back with me on the first test between Pakistan and South Africa. First thing to note, obviously, the result. Pakistan played really well, won the test match pretty easily in the end. Waqas, your thoughts, first of all, just on the performance and the result generally?
Yeah, it was a great performance. I thought, they came out, bowled well. I thought the first session, South Africa, they done well. They were two down for about, I think it was 90 odd. But I thought when they came back from lunch, Pakistan bowled really well. Overall, I think the bowling was brilliant. I thought they came back really well. I think the batting, just before the stumps, it was a collapse there, 27 for four.
Yep.
So it was a it was a good day for Pakistan. Thought they came back. They deserved the day, but so you can't give out to South Africa. They took four wickets, and then overall, they were struggling 27 for four, and then obviously at stumps at 33 for four, it was pressure for Pakistan for coming out into day two. It wasn't going to be easy for them, but I thought at day two they came out. They didn't lose a wicket, and that was a good start for Pakistan. Fawad Adams, a lot of talks about him, coming back in the squad after 10 years is a long, long 10 years. He got 100, a deserved 100. He batted really well, and can't take away that 100. And then you had Rizwan there, who got a 30 odd, a wee cameo 30, and then Fahim Ashraf as well. Another talks about him, where why is he in the squad, and he's been struggling, but came back and he got a 60 odd as well. And then Numan Ali, and then Yasser Shah got a wee cameo, and then Ali 158. I thought that was a good effort from Pakistan, from 27 for four to 375. I didn't expect them to get 375. It was just the way they came out and batted well. But I thought, great credit to Pakistan. Got to give the credit to them. And then South Africa came back. With the bat, they batted. They came out really strong. I thought they came out very strong with the batting, and just towards the stumps. The session was looking to go to South Africa, but I thought the spinners came back
Yep.
and bowled really well, and then quick wickets fell, and then there was a collapse there,
Yep.
and then yeah, there. So overall, I was they bowled well, and it's a day three. They came out very very well, and then again, it was a day four, and Pakistan came out easy, and then took the six quick wickets, and then went on and made that 88 odd 88 there.
Yep. Easy work in the end. Khizar, what was your overall view of the match and the performance that Pakistan had?
Yeah, I think before the game started, there was a lot of pressure on Pakistan. They were playing at home. We've not had great test results, and there was a lot of talk about the wicket. And Karachi is not, a square turner. So they asked for a spin-friendly wicket. There's pressure on Yasser Shah before he started because people were saying he's not got it in him, and he was saying, look, this is my chance. I'm going to be on conditions that suit me, so judge me at the end of the game. We picked Uncle Noman as well, coming into the team, a young, very young looking 30, whatever he is, 30, how old is he, 33, 34?
Yeah.
But he was brought in for a role, keep things tight, put pressure on. South Africa, before the game started, were considering going in with three spinners on the wicket as well. We lost the toss, wasn't great. But I think, we're all part of a couple of WhatsApp groups, and we've got these fans who, write the team off after one session. A test match lasts 5 days. We're not going to win all the sessions. And I think that's what was key. Our top order collapsed. The middle order and the lower middle order are looking great. We're going to talk about Fuad later on, so I won't go into that. But as you mentioned, Waqas, I think Azhar Ali doesn't get the credit he deserves. He does whatever is needed. He's opened in ODIs. He's done a job. He's opened in test matches and got a better result. And now, because the openers aren't successful, we're talking about bringing him back into open. You can't just keep messing him about like that. He is one of the most important batsmen in that team. We lost a couple of sessions. People wrote us off, but you've got to, you like South Africa, they lost a wicket, but their second wicket partnership was over 100, I think, in the second innings. And everyone thought, right, we're going to be chasing 400 all of a sudden, And I just think the spinners were going to come into it. And another thing about his captaincy, Babar's captaincy, is I think he can afford, like in this game, the spinners should have bowled more. There wasn't much happening for pace, and we can't just think Shaheen Shah Afridi's gone from being a world-class bowler last series to nothing just now. The wicket didn't suit him, but we've got to know when to bowl who.
One of the key moments was at the end of day one when Pakistan were 27 for 4. At that moment, that match could have gone really badly for Pakistan, but they showed great character to come out the next day and bat really well. Khizar, could that have been the test match there?
I think that's what I was saying. I think Fuad's getting a lot of credit and he deserves it, and so is Fahim Ashraf. But that Azhar Ali innings of 51 of 151 balls, and when it happened, when the collapse was happening around him, Fuad came out, he had support. Them absorbing that pressure, okay, the run rate wasn't there, but that'll come. And it did come because Fahim upped the rate later on. We've got a solid middle to lower order, and now it looks like we've got a decent middle order as well. You've got Azhar Ali, you've got Fuad, and you've got Babar Azam, and then you've got Rizwan and Fahim Ashraf coming in. So really good middle lower order.
Waqas, just touching on the sort of lower order, we had Fahim Ashraf making some important runs, and then we had the tail. So the last three batsmen, between them, made 83 runs, which for a Pakistan team recently is probably not something very often.
No, I totally agree with you. I think it's been a while where Pakistan batters have batted down the order where they get out quickly. I thought Fahim came back batted well from New Zealand. I thought, but he took it from there and then he took it from Pakistan. I thought he batted really well. He's improved as well. I thought he's coming out with a bat improvement. I thought Numan batted well. Numan as a debutant came in. It's going to be a big game for him. He came out batted well, gave him a wee partnership, and Yasser Shah coming in at number 11, and he made a wee 35 or 40 runs. So, to be fair, getting 80 runs for the last three batsmen, that is big for Pakistan. You don't really get that from Pakistan. But
the other key moment I thought, and again mentioned by Khizar earlier, was on day three, the big partnership that South Africa had between Markram and Van der Dussen.
I think they batted well. We had a couple of there was a couple of drops in that partnership as well. Generally, the fielding was really good, especially day one. We had was it 2 runouts in the first inning?
That's right.
So overall, the performance in the field was good, but we did drop a couple of catches, and that there was going to be a partnership. Throughout the test match, you would expect a team like South Africa to fight back. You're not going to win every session. Like I said, there was a lot of pressure on the guys. I think the spinners could have been bowled more.
Yep.
You look under Misbah, you look under Inzi, going back, it would be fine to have one of the spinners bowling a session and a half from one end non-stop. So I think we could have done with a bit more of that. But, there was still a deficit. They had a great partnership.
Yep.
But at the end of it, there was still like 6 runs ahead when the wicket fell.
Yep.
So I think that's going to happen in games, and it's down to a captain. And he's learning, he's new. But you've got, when we say we've got senior players, we've only really got Azhar Ali, who's played. You've got Fuad Alam with loads of first-class experience, and he scored 3 centuries in 3 different decades, but end of the day, he's still new to the team. So you've not got a lot of experience around the team. So he does need support and from the coaching staff as well. So I think he'll develop in that respect. But, there was no howlers.
No.
And that partnership was going to happen at
Yep.
some point, whether it was wherever it was.
And Waqas, just touching on the spinners' performance throughout the test match. So they took 14 wickets between them, 7 wickets each. So shared the spoils very much. Ultimately, Numan's 5-wicket haul will be remembered probably the most in the 4th innings. But they both bowled really well, you thought, and they bowled well together.
Yeah, they bowled really well. I thought Numan Ali was brilliant. His economy rate was quite good. He bowled at the right depth, and Yasser Shah as well. There's a big pressure on him, like Khizar said at the start. He's not been bowling really well in the past series. He's been not getting a lot of wickets. But I thought this match he's improved himself, and he bowled really well in the first innings and second innings. And when they needed him, he was there. He bowled right. He bowled at the right place, and he gave his 100% effort. So I thought the spinners were really, I think winning the game, I know Fawad got 100, but I thought the spinners won it as well for Pakistan. So I thought spinners were great, 100%. And end of the day, I think both of them deserved it in the day. And that 5-wicket, Noman, like you said, that will be remembered for a good while because, getting 5 wickets in Pakistan as well, it's not outside, it's in Pakistan.
Yep.
It's a big thing for him. And, But overall, yeah, it was impressive bowling by both of them.
Yep. I mean, I always find it very funny that Leggy's on one side bowling these magic balls, gets hit for a fair few runs, but then the off spinner on the other side just bowls his regular delivery, same spot every ball, and very orthodox, very economical. I think he only went
Waqas,
for
is that why you changed from leg spin to off spin?
exactly. I've seen the light. There's no doubt about it. So let's move on to Babar Azam as a first-time captain, very first Test match, also first match in Pakistan as captain. How did he do? I mean, there was a couple of issues. I think I don't want to call them issues because he's just starting out as a captain. He got out fairly cheaply both innings to the same bowler Maharaj. Played the wrong line on both occasions. His fielding when he was in slip, he dropped a catch. He missed a couple of catches. He was a bit late on them. And then his use of the spinners, as Khizar has mentioned, maybe didn't use them enough. And also then the night watchman decision. So lots to cover there, but Khizar starts off over his overall performance.
Like I said, I think he's got pressure on him. He's young. And remember, in this Test match, with the changes that's happening with the management, he picked the 11 that went out on the park. So, he's fully invested in this team, but there is pressure. If it fails, it's on his head. The PCB have said, look, this Babar as captain is our long-term plan. But I don't think anyone would want his batting to suffer as a result of him being captain. But in terms of the night watchman, I don't think that would have been his decision alone. They're batting at that point. You've got the management, the coaches, etc. there. We've got a guy who can play. I mean, we lost, what's his name? Medium pacer, that Abbas. Abbas would have been night watchman in the last couple of series and did the job well. But you've still got three guys there who can bat, who could have gone out to protect the batsman. You've sent out a proper number 11.
Yep.
And you've gained nothing from it because he's got out. But I haven't put that down to Babar. I think there would have been other people making that decision. On-field stuff, yeah. So I think he can learn in terms of being a bit more patient. And, that comes down a lot to do with Yasser as well. Yasser's impatient as a leg spinner. He'll bowl all over the place, just try and get a wicket if he's not got one. So he needs to learn to bowl a long spell, bowl a session from one end. Babar needs to be patient, and they've got somebody in Noman and even in Fahim who they can use to, hold the scoring back. Hassan Ali was persevered with in the first innings, where I think most captains would have taken him off after he started getting tonked about, but he'd just come back as well. So I think generally there's nothing major, but for me it's more the pressure on him as a player. But the way he was batting in the second innings, he did look really good. But I think it'll take a bit of time. New captaincy,
Definitely very early days for Babar as a captain and as a batting captain. Just let's touch upon the state of the South Africa team. I mean, their openers, top three, did reasonably well. They batted well in the early sessions. The rest of the team probably didn't do themselves very much justice and probably didn't bat with Khizar.
I think on this there's a couple of things to mention. You've got a reasonable team, but South Africa you would expect better from in terms of who's come out. But batting bowling wise, they've got a decent pace attack. They've got they've got a few spin options. I think they've got 3 spin options, and they've got a decent batting team. But I don't think they batted well, and some of the shots, and we'll talk about de Kock and the way he got out, but also he's got captaincy burden on him as well, and he didn't want it. He's said that he didn't want to be captain, and he's reluctantly taken that role on. And he said that it is very much a short-term thing, and he doesn't want to be a captain long-term. So, in some of the reviews, I mean, there were some shocking reviews that the South Africans took. But, he's got Faf du Plessis standing next to him in slips, and you see him chat to Faf about it each time. So again, you need the other guys, just like we're talking about Babar being supported by Azhar. We've got Faf, and the other guys need to support de Kock as well. But some of the shots that they got out to, they weren't great. They weren't great shots.
What are your opinion on this South Africa team?
I gotta agree. First, there's three batters. I think the openers and the third one, I think they batted well, but I think the rest of them, they got out to like the first innings, like silly shots. Like I don't know if you've seen De Kock's in the catch. It was like just out, and then I think one of the openers, he was going well, and they were doing really well. He got out, he just edged it. So I think
chased a wide one.
Yeah, the wide one. I think they're batting. The three batters did well. I think the rest of them, they got like a wee 15 or 18, and they gave the wicket away. The bowling's really good though. They've got some really good bowling, like Rabada and then Nagidi and then the other one. And the spinners are all right. They're okay. They've got options there, but I think their batting cost them. They were going well at 170 for 2, 130 for 1, and then 170 for 2, 170 going forward, and stumps. They've collapsed, and then they come out the day 4, and then De Kock gives his wicket away, and then first ball Hussain bowls that as well. So, and the batting cost them. They bowled well though. I thought they bowled okay, but the batting cost them in the second innings. I thought they could have went on and got a wee good lead, but obviously
I think this bowling attack that they've got, if they put 300 on the board, that'll be very challenging for Pakistan. To win a Test match if they put 300 on the board both 100%. Times. And just lastly, I wanted to touch upon the pitch. First game in Karachi in quite a while. Because I know you mentioned that this is not normally a turning wicket, but it seems that Pakistan did get what they wanted in the end. The pitch did start to turn quite heavily, and we were only at end of day 3, start of day 4 at that point. So certainly we got a bit of home advantage.
Yeah, we should have, and that's what everyone does. You look at the wickets India prepare or England prepare. It's you'd want it to support the home team. I think on day 1 there was Shane creating some dark patches on the follow through, which showed there was a bit of moisture underneath. But the way that happened, I was thinking, oh shit, this is going to start breaking up. There was a few that kept low, but I don't think it was a bad wicket. I think it was a decent wicket. Fuad Azhar took a few blows. They got hit by a few that leaped up. There was a few that kept low, but it wasn't. I don't think it was a bad wicket, and I don't think it was a dead wicket, as some people were saying, because look, we got a result inside 4 days. So I think the wicket was good, prepared as I wanted. Outfield was lightning from all through the 4 days. You beat the infield and it was gone. So yeah, I think it was a good wicket.
Waqas, fair wicket, you think?
Yeah, I gotta agree. It was a great wicket. The bowlers got it, and then they got a result in the day. That's the main thing. They got a result in 4 days as well. Not normally Pakistan will get a result in 4 days. So the wicket was all right. I wouldn't say there's any complaints.
Okay, excellent. Thanks very much, guys. I mean, we've got the second test to look forward to. Pakistan really well. Expect a bit of a fight back from South Africa in the next test. We'll see them out in a few days' time. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll catch up for the next test.